Hi everyone, my name is Abiola Bello and I am the author of Love in Winter Wonderland. Love in Winter Wonderland is my debut YA book. It's my first kind of everything, my first YA, my first rom-com, and yeah, it came out last year and I'm just so proud of this book. I wrote in a very difficult time, so the fact that it even is a book I think is amazing. So the book is about two teenagers, Trey Anderson, Ariel Spencer, and they both are from Stoke Newington, which is in Hackney. Trey's family own a black-owned indie bookshop called Wonderland, which we find out quite early in the book that it's in debt. His mum is really stressing about it, and they're wondering whether to sell it or somehow keep it, but they don't know how. And then we've got Ariel Spencer, who's an artist, and she wants to go to the artist studio, which is a very expensive, prestigious school that her late dad went to, and her family don't have the funds for it. She wants to get a job to help pay for it, and she ends up working at Wonderland. Her and Trey are kind of like in different social circles. Trey's like this really popular hot guy. Ariel's very cute, but she's kind of like got like a really small little group of her. Trey's girlfriend Blair isn't very nice, and she doesn't like Ariel just because they kind of clash. And you kind of see this journey of Trey and Ariel, how they come together, how the community comes together to really support a black owned bookshop. And I really wanted to tell this story because I think it's really important to highlight black businesses and independent businesses as well. So I'm going to do a reading. I'm going to read from chapter 7. I think it's a good chapter that kind of shows the different characters in kind of one space, and you can kind of just see like the dynamics of everybody. So what's happened so far is Trey's best friend Bugs has decided that they should hijack their girlfriends, and their girlfriends are twins, 18th birthday party, and do a pink party at Wonderland, charge everyone a tenner, and put their money towards saving the bookshop. And so this is the part where you kind of see what happens after that. And Ariel is looking for a job. So this is where we're at the moment. So chapter 7, Trey's playlist, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by DMX. I'm in English when everyone's phones go off at the same time. I look up just as Mr. Johnson does too, from marking papers. He stands up, showing off his trousers that are way too short for him, and puts his hands on his waist. Phone's off, you all know the rules. I take out my phone and switch it to silent mode. But as I do, I see that Bugs has added me, as well as what looks like the whole of college, to a WhatsApp group called Surprise Party at Wonderland. I skim the message and grin when I get to the final line. Tell the twins and your invite is cancelled. There are so many people in the group that there's no way the bookshop can fit everyone. I start tapping my pen nervously on my workbook. Trey, Mr. Johnson barks. Oh, sorry, sir. I immediately stop. By the time I look at my phone again, it's lunchtime, and I have over 100 notifications from the group chat. People are buzzing about the party, which is sick, but I really hope everyone doesn't turn up. I walk into the canteen and spot Bugs and James at our usual table. James always looks like he's just rolled out of bed with his rumpled, baggy clothes and uncombed, mousy brown hair. Am I great or what? Bugs says. Yeah, but you invited way too many people, I reply. That's what's genius about it. Everyone will be fighting to get in, but don't worry. I'll make sure the shop's not over capacity. You better not let me down with the venue after all this work. I won't, I mumble. Pink? Really? James says. I don't have to pay, right? Everyone's paying, Bugs replies very seriously. Phoebe and Yara join us, and our table quickly fills up. The twins arrive last, wearing plastic tiaras and badges that read, "It's my birthday, bitch." I'm having the best day. I wish it was my birthday every day, Blair says, sitting next to me. She turns and waves. Anika, come sit with us. I look up, and Anika's standing with a girl whose name I don't remember, but she's the redhead that spilled the drink on me at BB's party last night. I feel kind of bad that I was rude to her. Why is Anika bringing her? Blair says under her breath as Anika walks over with her friend. Happy birthday, twins, Anika says and grins. You know my girl Ariel? You mind if she sits? Of course. Santi taps the chair next to her, and the girls sit, but Blair purses her lips. What's good, Anika? I say. I like Anika. She's herself around everyone, and it's rare to meet people like that. Trey, she places her hands on her heart. Your singing voice is to die for. I swear I'll be first in line when you headline Wembley. I look at the table and feel my cheeks flush. Thanks. Blair leans over and kisses my cheek. My baby is so talented. Little Mermaid, Boog suddenly yells, and the girl with the red hair rolls her eyes and smiles. Ariel, that's her name. How does Boogs know her? The question must show on my face because Ariel says, we used to do art together. At the same time, she reached for her drink and it wobbles. I reach out to steady it. We don't want another spill, I say under my breath. I'm not sure she hears me, but she looks away. I only dropped art so she could stand out, Boogs says, making everyone laugh. Now she's all famous and shit for the painting in the courtyard. So tell me, what presents have you got? Anika asks the twins. Blair stretches out her arm, showing off a gold bracelet that pops against her dark skin. Mom and Dad got us one of these each, but Santi doesn't like it. It's not that I don't like it, Santi says. It's just not very me. Boogs brought me the new SD maze, which is more my vibe. I glance at Boogs and he winks at me, but I mouth traitor, and he jerks his head back like I slapped him. Did he think I'd forgot that he didn't buy the book from Wonderland? Blair scoffs. It's beyond sad that you're happy with a book for your 18th. Says the girl's dating a bookseller. Santi glares at her. Hey, keep me out of this mess, I say, and everyone around the table chuckles. But for the record, I love a book for my birthday. Me too, Ariel says in a small voice. You see? Someone with taste. What do you like? Santi asks Ariel. Blair tuts and turns away to talk to Yara. She doesn't like book talk. I admit I do like SD Maze, Ariel says, and Santi claps her hands. To be honest, I devour anything YA. We used to have a YA book club at Wonderland that was pretty popular for a while, but Dad didn't like hosting the events after hours, so it stopped. Just don't get her started on Twilight, Anika says. Her and Jolie drive me wild when they talk about it. Twilight? I say, surprised. I actually hate the librarian for recommending it to her and putting me through this torture, Anika continues, and Ariel playfully nudges her. I remember the bookshop being flooded with customers wanting to buy a copy. That summer, my parents took me to Disneyland, so yeah, I guess I owe it to Edward and Bella's weird relationship for one of the best summers of my life. It's an amazing love story, Ariel argues. I don't know if it's because I'm around books every day, but I swear I'm programmed to have an opinion on any form of literature. I have to disagree, I say, and Ariel gasps. I read it once to see what all the fuss is about, and that book is weird as hell. Ed was literally telling Bella that they can't be together because he'll kill her, and Bella's just like, okay, sure. Can we have sex now? Anika and Santi laugh. Ariel stared at me with a look on her face that I can't read. I wasn't trying to be forceful in my opinion, but come on. Twilight is not a great love story. It's weird as fuck. I think you're wrong, Ariel says forcefully. I look at it more like Bella's so madly in love that she'd do anything to be with Edward. She would literally die for him. How many relationships are like that? She plays her chicken and limp salad, and I stare at the specks of paint on her hand. I never really thought about the book like that. Maybe Edward Cullen has more game than I thought. I can't even get my girlfriend to read a book I love, let alone turn to a vampire for me. So that is Love in Winter Wonderland. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks, guys.